Meeting of the, welcome to the April meeting of the Fairhaven Community Management Team. To everyone online and in the room. Just want to remind people that we have some house rules. They simply are that we are gonna stay focused, do no problem solving. We want to give people who normally don't talk a lot at meetings an opportunity to talk. We ask you to step forward. And if you're someone who normally talks a lot, just take a step back and give other people an opportunity. We're asking for open, honest, we're creating a space of open, honest, and safe communication. Listen with an open mind, believe that people have the best intentions, we're action oriented. And our goal is to start on time, which we're kind of doing, and end on time and honor the agenda, okay? With that said, I do want to just point out to people before we go on into the agenda that item number 7 was a misprint. We did have the election already, and we will be welcoming officially our new secretary, thanking Abby and talking about the co-chair position under item number 7. That's the only change I'm aware of. There will be a poll for announcements. You don't need to tell us now, but if you have an announcement, you can make it during that section. Okay, with that done, I'm gonna ask people online to mute their microphones, to use the chat box to say hello to people. We are able to see everything that you put in the chat box. It's up on the screen here at the library. The recording has been started. I'm going to ask Madam Secretary if you would call call the roll of the board.
Okay, Lee,
Present.
Patricia,
Present.
Adam,
Present.
and Christina, that's me, I'm present. We're here.
Okay. Please, if you're online, introduce yourself on the chat box. And if you are new, your first time, or you haven't been with us in a long time and you're in the room, would you please raise your hand, identify yourself? New people, would you please stand up and just say quickly who you are, and then Abby, you'll be next.
Hi, my name is Magda Town, and I am a long time Fairhaven resident, so.
Cool.
Present. Hi, everyone, I'm Abby Feldman. I know some of you and haven't been here a long time. I work into the management team here, so thanks for having me.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, we have established quorum, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then so you have been provided with a copy of the March minutes. I'm gonna ask if anyone has any questions about it or any modifications, anything need to be done. I don't see anything online. Anybody in the room have anything to say about the minutes in terms of any changes that need to be made? Okay. So Adam, remind me, we just do we need to?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, it just passes as long as nobody has a complaint. They're assumed to be good and they're approved.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so we'll move along because I don't see any complaints or concerns. Okay, next we will go to the financial report, and for that, we are gonna turn it over to our treasurer, Patricia, who is online, and I will make big so you can see her. There we go.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to make me big. Okay.
Oh, in living color. There you go.
Oh, geez. Okay. So, our current balance is $4,680.61. We were charged twice this month for Zoom, but that's only because for some reason the charge didn't show up in February. I mean, in January, and then no, take it back. It didn't show up in February, and it showed up twice in March, but one is for the February payment of $5.05. We also had some very generous gifts from the community, members from this board. Anna Juarez, $100 donation. And I know I'm going to say this wrong. Valencia. Okay, I'm not going to try to even pronounce it. Another $100. We also had another anonymous donation of $100, which brings us to $4,680.61.
And thank you very much for that report. Do we need to have this approved through a vote? No, we just.
Nothing to prove. It's just, yeah.
Accepted.
Just
Just
information.
accepted. That's where we are. Thank you very much, Patricia. Let me take this opportunity to just say how happy you are to see so many people that have stepped up with donations. And what I wanted to just say to people is everyone that has donated at the level that they can, right? That works for them. We would love to see more people participating in donating. But this is kind of like the way National Public Radio does it. It's at the level that you can afford, that you feel comfortable. When we did the mural outside, yes, we did get a donation for $1,000, but we also got a donation of $5. And there's no less value in donating at the $5 or $10 or $20 level than there is at the $100 or $300, $400 level. So if you are a member and you believe in what we're doing, we're gonna ask you to please consider donating. All of the members, 100% of the members of the executive team have donated at some level. And so now we're turning to the membership. Now, we also want to remind you what we do with this money. The money that is donated to the Fairhaven Community Management Team is used to pay for the Zoom, which the point that the petition made, that's for the translation services. That is not the regular pay. The regular pay for Zoom is a little bit higher. We can tell you if you really need to know, but I'm not going to ask for what that charge is. But the vast majority of our money goes to support activities like the gardens. When some of you may remember when Marianne came in and asked us for money, and we provided that. It goes to support Fairhaven Day. It goes to support the very wonderful meal that is provided at that Water Senior Center for seniors in our community. So I'm going to ask you to please keep us in mind, and if you can, please donate to the management team. And with that, unless there are any questions, I will then move us on to the next point on the agenda. I don't see any questions in the room about that or about the financial report. I don't see, oh, I see a, is that a hand raise?
No, that's your mouse.
That's my mouse. That's my mouse. So thank you very much for indulging me with that. Moving on, we are now going to go to the police report.
Thank you, Lee. Good evening, everybody. Good evening on Zoom. I will jump right into March statistics. We continue to see about 880 calls for service, which is on par with the previous months. Arrests same, about 46. Our robberies were down. We only had one in March. That was on 308 Ferry Street. It was a late report on of juveniles. Seemed like it was more of an assault from a school incident that happened days prior. Burglaries, we had 3, which is down, and motor vehicle theft 6. Theft from autos is up to 13. We did have 1 firearm discharge in the vicinity of 95 Hamilton Street in the beginning of March. That was our first one in a couple of months, in 0 murders. I did want to highlight we had a serious assault on 98 Clay Street in March. The guy was, it seemed like it was some arguments that started in North Haven, followed back over to New Haven, and he got beat up pretty good. Lucky to be alive. Our detective bureau is on it and has several leads. We did have unfortunately, we did have a suicide by a juvenile in March on Rose Street. We actually took part in a community walk yesterday with several services such as Clifford Beers, Child Study, CTVIP, and went around and just offer support and offer services for that. Been working with zoning a lot on businesses staying open past the 11 o'clock. There's been a significant improvement in that in Fairhaven. But we're still monitoring and making sure we're nipping it when we get a chance to. I do want to mention March 12th, we had an arrest of a Cornell Redfern. It was I'm sure I reported this back in January, but December 19th of 2024, there was a person shot in the face at 7 Woolsey Street. And through this investigation, detectives were able to secure an arrest warrant and put him into custody. We always hear about the shootings, but it's the follow-up, and it takes months. And to do it in 4 months, believe it or not, it's actually pretty quick from start to finish to get him in custody. So that was a great job by our detective bureau. And just lastly, I did want to. We did have a illegal dumping on Front Street the other day. I highlight that because a lot of people called me on it. A lot of people called the police on it and got video pictures of the truck involved and the people involved. And we were able to write a $550 ticket to the people involved with it. It was a U-Haul truck full of furniture, Front Street. So with that said, like lately, we began a lot of cooperation from the community, which we greatly appreciate. We would have never identified this individual without the pictures from the community members. Like literally, we would have never did it. So thank you. Other than that, I'll leave it up for questions or comments.
Hey, any questions from anyone in the room regarding the police report? Question in the back?
I'm sorry?
Any ice presence?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So we have seen no ICE presence, just the microphone is up here, so, yeah, okay. Any other questions? Any questions online? Please raise your hand or unmute yourself.
Letitia has her hand.
Oh, Patricia, did you have? No, that's my mouse, that I don't know for
No,
some reason.
That was Leticia.
Yeah, I just took it off. It was me. It was a little brown
Oh,
hand.
okay, sorry, go ahead.
I want to thank the sergeant because he's really good and he responds really well. But I did have a question. This is a nuisance question, parking question. We have a couple of, and my neighbors have been complaining about a couple of parked cars that are unregistered. They sit there when sweep come by, no tickets are put on, the cars aren't towed. Is it easier for you if I just send you the plate number and the car and whenever an officer is available? That they could go ahead and take care of it because it's not an emergency, just whenever they have extra time to come over and take care of those cars.
Yeah, absolutely. I also encourage, we do have a traffic and parking. They could assist with that
Okay.
nature as well. But anything of that nature, you could call us. I try to have our officers on other beats and paths, especially with the cars being mobile and taking care of it that way. If it's strictly a parking complaint that's been there for a while. And the reason why is I'll actually give you a perfect example. There was Houston and Chapel Street. There was a car the other day that was told it was there for 2 months, but just got brought to our attention. And I was out there with another cop. We were doing an enforcement action, so we took care of it. I was thinking it was going to take, let's just take care of this really quick. An hour and a half later, waiting for a tow truck. So it takes the cops off the road for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If it's just a parking complaint like that, I strongly encourage to just call it in traffic and parking could do it too, though.
Okay, so you prefer me just to call traffic and parking, which is fine.
Well, we
But
could go through the same non-emergency number, and a lot of times
Okay.
our dispatch will coordinate with them, and if essentially we'll get it taken care of.
Okay,
And
thanks.
will C-Click Fix work for that?
Yeah,
It does. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much, because we're such a dispatch orientated.
Mhm. No, I was thinking in terms of directing it to traffic and parking.
Yes, C-Click would work. Again, that's for like the stale, known abandoned cars. type of-
I have an example to give, but first, Anna, go ahead.
No, that was exactly what I wanted to say, that C-Click Fix took care of a vehicle that was on my street that had been abandoned for a few weeks, and it took a little bit longer for them to come, but they did respond, which was great.
And the example I wanted to give, been a van parked in that little strip by the by the Strong School, a
Mm.
white van.
Yeah, yeah.
For weeks, it may even be 2 months, it has no license plate. If you do see a vehicle that has no license plate, you can take a picture of the VIN,
Mhm.
right, and send it to you in case it's
In case it's stolen.
stolen or something like that. So the VIN is that number that appears when you look at the car, you look toward the steering wheel from the outside, and it's right at the bottom of the windshield. It's a very long, like 15, 16 digit number, 17 digit number. Just take a picture of it and use that instead of a license plate if it doesn't have a license
Mhm.
plate. Another question
I
or
just have
comment
a
in the room?
comment about that, just keep in mind that it's 72 hours from the time they respond till they move the car. And the city doesn't have an active tow contract right now, so something we run into problems with. Don't get me started. It's a problem all throughout Fairhaven with the parking, so just be patient. My first attempt at rewriting the ordinance failed in legislation committee, but I will be going back for a second try, and that's to change it from 72 hours to 24 hours. And that would be for all disabled vehicles without markers, without plates, stuff like that.
Thank you for that information. I don't see any other questions in the room. Is there a question or
Yeah,
anything
this
else?
is Pastor Boone.
Go ahead, Pastor Boone. Good to see you.
Hey, I am at 155 Grand Avenue. I'm across the street from the school. And for many years, I've been waiting for the police department, the city of New Haven, to come and start getting these people that are sleeping in the church property, desecrating the church property, defecating the church property. And they sleep there. I go there, I clean up, and I keep doing it. Now, I know that these people have their situations, they have their problems, but as much as everyone in this room and on this conference wants to talk about how you're trying to clean up Fairhaven, how come nobody is coming over there on a regular basis and making sure these homeless people go to the facilities that are made for them, and ready to accommodate them. There's 2 or 3 days a week I gotta go and I gotta go clean up, and it's not my job. I gotta go speak to these people and ask them why are they there. I've been cussed out, I've been cursed out. I have people taking their pants down, desecrating on the property to be defiant to me. And, it's right across the street from the school that the mayor goes to, it's right across the street from the school that all the people go to, and all these activities are happening, and then you want me to participate. And I keep saying, you need to come by and you need to take care of this situation. When you look at the city of New Haven and you look at anything that talks about the environment or the historical value of New Haven, the historical things that are happening there, the cemetery that's behind me, you guys are always showing that cemetery, but yet you pay no attention to what's going on there. So I'm a little bit annoyed. I've been annoyed for a few years, and you guys wonder why I don't participate, why I don't want to get on this call. It's because I have no support from you guys. So I want to know when you guys are going to start.
Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention. This is literally the first time I've been aware of this. So I could, I'm sure my information is left in the minutes, my email, my cell phone.
It's on the agenda.
On the agenda, I'm sorry. So please, Pastor, I encourage you to give me a call and put this on attention. Just to touch on a couple of things, that's private property. We cannot go on private property without the approval. So we don't have the resources to go and force everybody off of private property. We do have our compass teams that do make our regular rounds, and that they do, as long as the individuals are not violent or actively drinking or actively doing narcotics or anything of that nature. They do come around regularly on their rounds, and they do address these situations on themselves. But again, even them, they're not allowed to go on private property. So I do encourage to, I know it seems like it's a lot, but I do encourage to call it in when you do see it. We could work on a standing no trespass order, which
Yeah.
would basically allow us to go on your property at any time to address it without well, basically it advanced consent, which eliminates the court situation. And we also have this Familiar Faces app, which just started in December with the city. Its initiative started at Fairhaven. Right now, only Fairhaven, The Hill, and downtown are participating in it because it's still in the very beginning stages of it. Basically, it's we encounter somebody who's violating the law, not just anybody that's walking in a public street. But in your case, you're a complainant, they're clearly trespassing at that point, so they have a violation. And we have a system in place where we give them the verbal warning, we offer them services. If they deny the services, then they go onto this Familiar Faces app. The first time is a verbal warning. The second time will be get a simple in this particular instance, they would get a simple trespass ticket. And then the third time they would get a custodial arrest, which will be a trespass to Class D misdemeanor. The benefit of that is the police department, city hall, and court has access to this portal. Once you get that second and third offense with me, the second offense you get the infraction, third offense you get the custodial, all three offenses you deny services that the city has plenty of offer. At that point, the court is supposed to hold these individuals accountable and mandate some type of treatment. That's a court thing, and the judge has to be on board. But we have already had the city, our chief, and our state's attorney's office back in November have all agreed on this, and they've all talked about this. So this is not something that we're just making up. Again, it's the infant stages, and we got about 80 names on that list. And now it's following up. I believe the police department has done their job. Now it's following up, making sure court is doing their part in it. For the habitual individuals that refuse services that are violating. Again, they have, in your instance, perfect example, they're trespassing, so that's a violation. We could use them for that. So again, only Fairhaven, The Hill, and downtown are doing this right now. We may expand, but obviously we get it the most. So if you want, we could touch base and get that standing no trespass. So that way we do have individuals that could just walk on your property and start the process, right? This is give them the verbal warning at first, offer them the services, and get them on the app if they haven't been already, and kind of go from there.
Please, Pastor Boone, I strongly urge you to contact the sergeant. His information is in the stream of the text on the side of the chat. It is on every agenda. Any agenda you may have received in the last 2 years has his number. Call him. I also want to urge you, you are in Ward 14. Please copy or separately write to Sarah Miller, who happens to be my wife, but also is more importantly is the alder for this area. Let's do everything we can to help you to address this issue. I'm not going to say even to help you, because that would imply that it's your problem. Let's do what we can to address this problem in a comprehensive way. Thank you for bringing it up. Any other questions or any other issues people want to bring up? I did notice a couple of people that walked in. Remember to sign in on the sign-up sheet and to get an agenda and the minutes from, the minutes from the last meeting. They're right there, along with other information that you're welcome to take in. I did notice that, I just realized this because I look at it so often, I'm blinded that the agenda, we rearranged it last month because of some issue, and we didn't rearrange it back. That's why I was like, why is this here? So we're gonna go ahead and follow this.
And one quick question for the sergeant before we move on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The question is, packages stolen off porches, are there statistics on that?
No, those are not robberies. Those are thefts. So the question is if they come in the robbery statistics, the answer is no, they do not. It's
Is
not
there a
rob-
theft statistic that is
No.
available or anything like that from
Our crime analysis and analysts, we track for major crimes reports, which I do send out weekly. It's basically robberies, burglaries, theft from auto, which is a largely from auto, motor vehicle, and car thefts and firearm discharge. That's it. So the other anything absent of those does not come up immediately in our weekly report.
So there's the answer. Another answer for those of you suffering from this problem is that there are alternatives to having stuff delivered to your house, like the Brandon Atwater bodega and other places as well, where you can have the packages delivered. That's what I do for my house, because that's the reality that we're living. Alder Ridente.
I just want to say something, since Sergeant Alvarado took over, we've seen improvement throughout Fairhaven. My ward in particular, we were having serious problems with drug dealing and loitering all on Ferry Street. I don't know if you guys have seen Ferry Street lately. And the guy's doing an amazing job. But what I do want to say about the package thieves is not a police issue, it's the courts. Because it's the same people over and over and over again. These guys arrest them, they go to court, they get a slap on the wrist, and they're right back out in the community using and stealing. And Sergeant can tell you, I have run them out of the neighborhood personally, and it's usually the same handful of people. So I implore all of you to get on your computers and start sending emails to whoever you have to. Send them to the governor. Like, we need to get these courts on board that, like, we want to be compassionate, but crime is crime. And we got to just stop enabling it. Because if people are offending 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 times, and we're not holding them accountable, what are we doing? So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you for that. And so we're gonna move along here in terms of the agenda and just follow it as we have. So the next item on the agenda is Abby Feldman. She's gonna talk about New Haven Rising for up to 8 minutes, and then there'll be a Q&A. So Abby, Adam, do you have her PowerPoint presentation?
if it was sent to me, I don't believe.
Sent to the Fairhaven Management Team email address.
Okay, I can pull that up. Give me a second.
Okay, so Abby, why don't you come up and introduce yourself? It's best if you talk from there because the camera will see
Okay.
you. And actually, if you pull it around to the side, you can kind of look both ways. I'm gonna put you front and center on the
Okay.
screen. So if
If I
you sit
stand
there,
here, so-
that'll be fine, because people will see you.
So you gotta do double duty.
No, no, no,
Actually, I
no,
can
no,
work the
sit
room.
right there, see, people will see
Sit.
you, just have a
Okay.
seat.
But I'd
Sit.
like
Yeah,
to
there you go.
I'd like to see everyone that I'm talking with. Is that okay?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
great.
Hi, everybody. I'm Abby Feldman. I'm here with New Haven Rising. I'm one of our organizers, and I'm really excited to be with you all tonight. Wanted to just tell you a little bit about what we've been working on and invite people to get involved however they might like, and also, of course, open to answer any questions or comments at the end. But I can pass this around if you'd like to take one, and then I will send this PDF to the group so you can all have it, and I'll try to be brief. But essentially, I grew up here in New Haven. I graduated from Wilbur Cross and ECA, and I was always just wanting to see better for our city. I grew up in the Westville neighborhood, but I've spent a lot of time also living in the Fairhaven area and back and forth. And my biggest passion is the arts. I used to do community arts organizing with the People's Arts Collective. And when our community space was demolished, I was really upset when I saw luxury apartments and nice eateries. Not that we shouldn't have those things here, but really that we should have more spaces for community and for what residents are and young people especially are trying to do in our city. So that's really what got me involved in community organizing with New Haven Rising. So, I'll take you through our presentation right now very quickly. I won't get into every detail because it could take a while, but I'd love to have another meeting with more residents who wanna dig in with this or like bring their questions, bring their vision and their thoughts. But essentially, we're really talking about building an inclusive economy in our city. Like I said, when I was younger, I saw that there was a lot of development happening for people outside of our city and not necessarily, in my opinion, enough happening for our young people, for our residents here. So that's what this this inclusive economy means. The fight right now is really about housing. You know, many of our members and community members will tell us they're facing a housing crisis, jobs, and also having a fully funded city. So if you go to the next slide, a lot of this fight, what we're looking at is really that we're tying it back to the scars of racism that go back almost 100 years to 1937, when many people know about this history of redlining in our city, but essentially much of our city was redlined, where neighborhoods like Fairhaven and the Hill, Newhallville, if you are familiar with our map here, were marked as declining and hazardous, and residents in those areas weren't able to secure loans for homeownership and other things in the same way. There was a lack of investment. If you go to the next slide, we see the way that these things have played out. Those are really small, so I'm happy to share these a little bigger, but it affected life expectancy, which is probably one of the most glaring results of this, where if you see the life expectancy slide, on one side you have Prospect Hill, and the other side of Prospect Hill is Newhallville. There's a 10-year gap in life expectancy between those two neighborhoods that are side by side. And I think we see that very much in a lot of these maps. Foreclosures initiated most in redlined areas, COVID positive cases, evictions. That bottom middle map, it's sad, it's tragic. Fatal shootings that happen mostly in areas that have been redlined. And the new addition there came from some Yale doctors, where it shows that asthma rates are highest in areas that have been redlined. So we're trying to really change the maps of racism in our city that have had these long-standing effects across our neighborhoods. What are we looking at today? Well, we all know there's like a boom happening in New Haven, or maybe you've seen it, the buildings going up. In 2023, maybe some of you saw, New Haven was listed as New York Times top 52 places to visit in the world. New Haven's kind of like coming onto the map for some folks, and Yale is dubbing it a New Haven Renaissance if you keep going. Many of you may also have heard about Yale's involvement in stopping one of the very first Black college that we would have had in the country, was going to be established here in New Haven, 1831. There were actually, I think, over 600 free Black residents in our city, and there was lots of community leaders, faith leaders, who were getting together and had everything they needed to start a first Black college here. It would have been the first HBCU, and that they even had a building or a site that was designated for it, and that plan was shot down by leaders at Yale. Keep going. Here's a little more of what does that New Haven Renaissance mean, what Yale is referring to. Pizza, 52 places to go, the cultural hotspot, the downtown green, eat, stay, and play in New Haven. Let's keep going. What's causing this investment in our city? One of the biggest drivers that we're seeing right now for this investment is biotech. We're actually the second in the nation for biotech investment in any city. So that's been over $2.5 billion of investment. And we've seen that in buildings like 101 College Street that's being finished right now. I think we know about some of the buildings that have been there, but there's some other buildings there. 24 developments. What is biotech? I think a lot of us feel like biotech is not jobs for our residents necessarily, or we don't have enough people qualified to work in biotech. But actually, biotech are medical workers, teachers, hospitality workers, food service workers, construction workers, researchers, public utilities workers, if you keep going. So those are jobs that our residents could be working in. Many residents would be qualified for that. And who's paying for all this development? It's not just, private funds, it's also public funds. So we're looking at the tax breaks. We're not just looking at Yale, but the hospital, Win Stanley, other tax breaks have totaled more than $200 million. We fought for Yale to increase their voluntary contribution, which they did, $52 million increase over 5 years that we're getting right now. And we actually doubled pilot from the state, but even then, we're still losing over $100 million every year in taxes for the city of New Haven. So we can keep going, because I know we're running out of time. The story of Oak Street, many people know about urban renewal. We can keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Urban renewal, they're trying to, reshape downtown New Haven and other parts of New Haven. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Well, this is kind of highlighting, if you go back one, the results of some of this development is high rents, right? We're seeing rents higher and higher, and we're wondering what's driving up the cost of rents. Is a lot of this development, and that wages, as we know, are stagnating. And so we're really trying to fight to change this. We're trying to organize more people around a new vision for the city with good union jobs, affordable housing, a fully funded city where we have the wealthiest institutions paying their fair share. And many of that is connected to youth opportunities. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. I passed out our kind of what we're doing about that. And there's 3 actions coming up this month and next month that we're organizing, because this is really tied to what's happening nationally with the rising inequality in our country, and trying to shrink the gap of inequality right here in New Haven. That's it. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Abby. We will take questions, and we also will ask you as a part of that to also tell people specifically, if you want to try to call for another meeting, where people can sign up, so you'll know, so you can make arrangements with the library, and also next action steps, something that's happening that people can
Yes.
support or participate in.
I meant to bring the flyers, but they're I sent them alongside the presentation. So this Saturday at 12 p.m. we have the hands off everything action. It's organized with many different people, 12 p.m. on the green. So please come, that will be there along with many other organizations. April 19th, we're going to Hartford with some of our union allies to fight for legislation for working people, and May 1st. I will send that all out, and happy to take any questions at the end. I'll also send my information so people, what we really need right now is more people to join our organizing committee to help move this forward and really shape what this campaign is going to look like into the future. So that's all. Thank you.
Let's see if there are any questions. Have a seat for a moment. Any questions online? Anyone raise your hand? Any questions in the room? Okay, question in the back.
Hi, do you get involved in anything with education, for our youth, because they're the next generation, and that's like the root cause of a lot of the problems you talked about, is they're not properly getting educated,
Yes.
and, they don't even go to school. So then you have all these other societal issues because they didn't go to school, they don't have a high school diploma, they don't know what's what. So then, it turns into a whole bunch of issues that affects the city.
Let's give her a chance to go ahead and answer that. You got the question, right? What would you say?
So a lot of the issues that we're facing in terms of poverty in the city affect young people on many levels, that we're trying to change. Like we said, the scars of racism. We are, partnered with the teachers union that are really fighting for funding for school as well. Part of what on the 19th, when we're going up to Hartford, part of the thing we're fighting for with our legislators is to lower the fiscal guardrails so we can actually have increased investment in our education for young people. And I think there's many different facets to that question, and we are trying to work on many sides of it. And if there's other ideas about what we can be doing as a coalition and as a movement, definitely would love to hear more.
Any questions online? No more questions in the room. Abby, we need to ask you to make sure you get us those flyers
Yes.
ASAP, so that when we send out the minutes to about 700 people, they
Yeah,
go
you
with
should
that.
have them already.
Oh, okay, so Adam or
They
maybe,
were alongside the
okay.
presentation.
So we'll include them. I would suggest you make copies and bring them here to the library.
Yes, I meant to bring some
Yeah.
today. So this is May 1st, May Day, Hartford and New Haven. Hands off, that's this Saturday and then the last
And,
one.
and then I would also get them to Hunza and the Central San Jose. There are other places, but those
Yeah.
two, a lot of through foot traffic, as well as our barbershops and beauty salons
Yes.
are a great place because people are sitting there waiting. That's a
Yeah.
good place.
So I think this some flyering was done, but I'll do some more and
Excellent.
we'll be inviting more people to a fuller meeting, so you have more time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Quick question?
More of those, I'll send that out to everybody. I didn't bring enough copies.
Check the minutes of this meeting will include the flyers that we have been provided. Thank you very much, Abby. Next, moving along, we're gonna have Jesse Phillips from the Center for Inclusive Growth. I didn't see Jesse. Jesse, are you online somewhere? He's not. Is there anyone here from the Center for Inclusive Growth? Okay, well, that makes that easy.
Oh, wow.
Okay, no, okay, no, nobody here, so we're gonna move on from that. Now, I know I told you we're gonna follow the agenda, but I'm gonna use chairman's prerogative to bring, Carlos Izaguirre up front for two reasons. One is, in a long time since we've had someone from economic development, and Carlos is the associate or assistant director. Oh, there he is with his, child, where are you? Okay, here we go. And then the second reason is because he's doing parent duty, and it's only fair that to let him get back to that. So we appreciate you coming from your house with your kids.
How are you?
Hi, how are you? So Carlos, please tell us whatever you have to say about economic development, and thank you for taking time to be with us.
Hi guys, thanks for your forbearance there. It's a little crazy, but yeah, no, I'm so happy to be back. I do apologize for we lost the staffer that used to staff this way back in a while ago, way back in 2024. I don't think we've been here regularly since. So we were gonna, thanks to the alders for reaching out, we'll make sure to remedy that and try to be here as much as we can every month. And I just wanted to provide a quick update for folks. We are doing. The alders and the residents and the organizations that are doing a lot of organizing on their own to make things better. And I think you heard from Sergeant Alvarado and a lot of the work. So there's a lot of stuff going on that folks in community are already doing out there. But I'll just talk a little bit. So we obviously want to support a lot of that, but I also want to talk a little bit about what we're doing on the economic development side. I know folks are very interested in when this what we're calling the Grander Avenue project is going to start. And that's where we will redo both the roadway and the sidewalks on all of Grand Avenue, going from end to end, essentially, all the way to the river to Olive Street. And so that is, as you know, you may or may not know, if we have talked about in the past in meetings here, there's we got about $7 million from the state of Connecticut in competitive grant money. It's called the Challenge Grant. So we'll utilize that money to do this Grander Avenue project. And so that is getting very close to we now have the money in the city's accounts, and that takes a while to get the money from the state. We now have the money in the bank. So we're very close to moving forward on that project. We're bidding it out for someone that will do the work, and then in May, some of the alders may be aware, but I don't know how much of community members are aware. In May, we will finally have that community meeting that the engineering department has been looking to schedule with the community. I know folks wanted us to get out there a little earlier, but we will be out there next month, and we'll cover both the Grand Avenue project. We'll have updated drawings, and the Ferry Street project as well, which will also have updated drawings. So at least those two projects, and maybe the Ferry Street Bridge as well, will be covered in that meeting in May. So stand by. I think we're looking at May 6th or May 8th. So working with folks in the community and what works for everybody, we'll hopefully have that date firmed up very soon. So some of the work they are doing, pretty early, like some of the Ferry Street work, they're already starting to look at what kind of ADA compliant sidewalks. So that's for people with mobility issues or wheelchairs. So they're looking at some of the things that they're looking at now. And so by hopefully in a month, they'll have a lot more to present to folks on how that project's really going to look. The other the other big initiative underway that you may be seeing see some work starting soon is the three what we're calling the townhomes next to the Fairhaven Health Clinic. Those will we are also I think we're just about to have a contractor in place to renovate those. So those will get renovated, and then we will do a home ownership initiative there, which, so these are multifamily, so there'll be a first-time home buyer in there with, and then a really nicely renovated unit that they can rent to help them pay their mortgage. So that project should be starting very soon as well. So those are three long-time vacant buildings. I just want to add too that all of these projects are put up on the city's purchasing website, open.gov. So if you know folks that are interested in bidding on the jobs, that's one way. All those jobs are so the sidewalk work, the house work on Grand Avenue, and then we also have any of those city projects will have our either our Commission on Equal Opportunity programming or our small contractor program, so that Black, brown, local, and women contractors have a shot at some of that work. So if there's questions there, I can make sure that those things are routed, because I know people are also interested in that and in the employment side of those projects. And obviously, if you're interested in being one of the people to live in some of these units, let's say, there's also a protocol to do. I can make sure that you're connected to the folks at the housing division to make sure that you're on that list. So those are some of the major projects that we're working on in economic development, and not everything, but those are, so I think that those are three big major initiatives that folks have been really eager to see us get underway. And so I think we're really close.
Quick word about the Quinnipiac River Park. I saw the wood fence went up. Looks beautiful. Can you say also what the next steps are on that project?
Quinnipiac River Park, I'm not as close to that. I mean, I know there's a lot, so I don't have a great update. I can Giovanni knows I'm going on tonight, so if we discussed it earlier today. So if I'm not sure exactly what.
I know there's an upcoming planning meeting that's gonna be at the new restaurant at
Yep.
Grandin at Grandin Front that Sarah's organizing. Maybe it's in her report, but yeah, don't worry about it for now. Just be aware that there'll be news coming out about planning, further planning for that park. Any questions about anything that Carlos mentioned, any of the projects? I'm gonna take you down to suppose. I see a hand up, Denise.
Good evening. Thank you, Carlos, for that update. I'm Denise. I work at Fairhaven Community Healthcare, and I coordinate 2 Saturday patient groups, one in English, one in Spanish, and we talk about what's it like being at Fairhaven Clinic, and what do you need, and what might we collaborate and do. And one of the things that has come up is with our new building, recognizing that the, for lack of a better word, handicap parking spots are close to the ramp, however, not close to a front door. So should you need some help, but perhaps have a cane instead of a wheelchair, it's quite a walk. And the discussion moved to, well, why don't we get that spot back in front of Grand Avenue? The meeting that you're having in May, will that also address safety issues? Because the flip side of that coin for them was, oh my gosh, why would we ask people with mobility issues to park and get out of their car on Grand Avenue? That sounds like we're throwing a mouse in front of a tomcat. Are you just presenting your building
No, we're not.
plan?
I mean, I don't think we'll have that level of detail, but that's something that we can address. I mean, is this about getting a handicap sign placed somewhere?
No,
I mean,
it's about what can be done to make that area, besides the crosswalk, which is lovely, but I'm sorry, doesn't seem to stop the crazy driving.
yeah.
Are there other ways? Are there speed humps, bumps, whatever we've got going on all over Fairhaven? Are there other ways to make that space, besides prettier, safer? And I was
Okay.
asked, I was told that would be this big community meeting, and alders would let us know when that is. I didn't know if this was that, or if there's something
I
else.
think this is, I mean, I don't want to speak, and I know Alder Redenti's there. I don't know who else from the Board of Alders is there. I see him in the front, but no, I'm pretty sure that would be the same meeting. And definitely if this is a bigger, because obviously I can help you right away if you want to get a handicap sign put up.
Yeah, they
But
don't.
If this is a larger issue on overall safety for people with mobility issues, yes, this would be, I'm sure the place to do it. I'll make sure Sandeep from the traffic division is there as well.
Okay.
I think you're going to get a big turnout for this, because I know the alders have been waiting for, I don't even want to say how long they've probably been waiting for this meeting, but it's been a while. And so we will make sure to really do this right and really be prepped for it and prepared to answer a lot of these questions.
Great. I will make sure that date gets to my groups and that they have an opportunity to speak and be heard. And obviously these are all bilingual, right? These meetings that we have in Haven?
Yes. I mean, not all our meetings are bilingual, to be
Translated.
fair, but I think we have, yes, So we don't, but yes, we will make sure to have, there's a couple ways we can do. We can do the formal translation with the headsets, or we can do, yeah, I think there's
You'll find a way.
yeah, we'll find a way. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the question.
Just a
And Mike, and I'll
side
put my
note.
information here as well. I'll share my information, and this will be my city cell phone. So if folks want to call, texting is always fine. Or they
Is
can
it
email.
okay if we put your name and that number next to economic development, the way we do with the police and with LCI? And I'm asking that with the respectful way we always tell people to address it is, if you have an issue, text this number, and then the person will get back to you, because we don't want to encourage people to call you. We know you're in a million things, but is that okay for people?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. And I'm trying to figure, I would like to make sure that you have an economic development officer assigned to you. So I don't know if it's going to be, we have a new woman that started that's handling downtown. That's really great. I don't know whether I'll bring her into this as well, or if it will be Jeffrey Moreno, who's worked with you guys in the past, but has a different, slightly different purview. But we do need to find somebody to staff this meeting regularly.
So Carlos's number is in the chat right there near the bottom, and then we'll put that in our agenda, and then when that new person gets assigned, we'll swap it out. And then that way people will have it handy on every agenda. Just a side note for Denise, let's have a conversation about healthy people that are healthy enough to do it. Let's start the walking groups again that we were doing a few years back with Dr. Peck, because I think that more people walking on Grand Avenue throughout the neighborhood not only makes it safer from a crime perspective, but also makes the residents healthier, and cars slow down. You know, a criminal person that's gonna run someone over is gonna do that. We've, I think, minimized that with the work of the police. But those people that are just in a rush to go somewhere, the more people that are on the street walking. So let's see if we can get a walking group or two going. I'm always happy to walk in the neighborhood with whatever staff from the center. We still have that video of people from the health center and people from the community walking together. Maybe we want to put that video up somewhere and just remind people to, whenever they can, walk in the neighborhood. It actually does help to keep the traffic at bay. So
I'd be happy to talk with you about that. Yeah,
so
yeah, I'll throw my contact information in the chat as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know you're an avid walker, and I aspire to walk.
Low jogger.
So a jogger, actually, yeah, true. Okay, I don't see any other questions online or in the room, so we're gonna move on. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Carlos.
everyone. Thanks for allowing me to come on tonight.
Okay,
Glad
and
you got to
then,
meet my kids.
okay, take care. Okay, so we're gonna move on to Kirk from the library. I know he's here, but he usually comes on. There he is.
Hello, everyone.
Let's make you.
Welcome to the library. A few different things coming up here. Well, there's always things coming up here, but a couple of the things to let you folks know about right off the bat. We are hosting not one, but two job fairs in April right here at the library. Next week on Wednesday, so that's the 9th from 4 to 6, we'll be hosting one that's led by New Haven Works. We have some flyers, but we're also waiting, I guess, some of the last minute employers that they're working with. So we don't have all the details yet, but that will be this Wednesday right here from 4 to 6. And then later in the month, we will have the State Department of Labor in for a job fair on Thursday, April 24th, same time, 4 to 6. Some of the ones that have that we've had here in the recent past with the Department of Labor have had large crowds. So if you or someone you know is looking for a job or potentially a new career, stay tuned. Drop by to see if we have their most up-to-date flyer about that, and we recommend everyone register ahead of time so that they don't have to register upon arrival. Another thing that we are looking forward to later this month is our first gardening related program of the year, with us hosting the VITA tax preparation each Saturday We have not been able to have our friend Folly Delgado from one of the volunteers from Gathering New Haven do one of her gardening workshops, but she will be in on Saturday, the 26th at 11 a.m. To talk about strategies of stretching your grocery budget when it comes to gardening and visiting farmers markets and the like. So we hope we will see you folks at that one. Speaking of our us hosting VITA, the free tax preparation, we sold out our appointments for the rest of tax season, and we did that probably a good couple of weeks ago. So while these will be going on, there's 2 more Saturdays, this coming Saturday, and then next Saturday before tax season ends here. We do not have any more slots for you if you haven't already booked a reservation, by the way, through 211. I believe if you want to take advantage of that through the library system, I believe the only location that might still have openings is our main library downtown, because that's a walk-in service only. If anyone is interested in that, the staff here, we can probably give you the details. Couple more things to mention about youth programming. Later this month on Saturday, April 12th, we're going to have our friends from the Yale Peabody Museum to do a Spanish language family activities in observance of Earth Day. So that's going to be a Spanish language program for families with Yale Peabody Museum right here, as I said, on Saturday, April 12th. And then the last thing is for kids. One of the things that we had been working on last month with a group called the Giant Room is kids being able to make their own comic figures that then became then became a trading card. This month, and you can do this self-paced when you come in. It's not any particular day, but it starts this coming Monday and runs through most of the rest of the month. Now kids can have their favorite joke turned into postcards that you can then share with everyone. So hopefully kids have got a good joke, or even if it's not so good, you can still share it with folks, and we'll show you how you can do that. So that is anytime you come in, start for your kids, start thinking of your favorite joke that you can then distribute. Of course, always a lot of other things going on. We're always glad to see you, but those are just some of the highlights taking place this month. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for all that information. Ton of stuff going on in the library. Let me make the rest of the group visible here, and let me just ask, any questions online about anything going on at the library? Any questions in the rooms? I don't see any. Please look for all of this information through our email that we send to all members. It will list all the stuff. Kirk has taken to sending us an email that lists all the activities in the library, and we share that with you all through the minutes. Do not hesitate to come to the library and enjoy the programs that they have. I don't see any questions, so we're gonna just move on the agenda. Thank you, Kirk, for that presentation. Okay, we have now come to the point on the agenda for the report from LCI. This report will go back. Carmen, are you with us?
No, she won't be here tonight.
Oh, she won't be here tonight. Oh, okay. So if you have any questions about LCI, if you have any issues, look on our agenda for this month or any agenda for the last 4 years. And right next to her name is her email address and her cell phone number. Do not hesitate to contact Carmen Mendez. She is our LCI specialist for the neighborhood. Okay, so we're going to move on. We are now at item number 7 on the agenda. And this was miswritten, and it is a report on the election. So you all know that Anna was elected last month at our meeting. So first thing I want to do is welcome Anna as our
Thank you.
welcome Anna as our correspondence secretary. Do you have your speech ready that you're, oh, no.
Please.
Panic. Okay, so just want to acknowledge that. Abby, is Abby with us this evening? Okay, Abby's having a baby. Abby Storch, which is
No,
why.
not right now.
Not right now, not this moment,
With
but she is
child.
having a baby, so she's excused from as many meetings as she needs to be excused from. But I want to put officially in the record of this meeting, a huge thank you to her, not only for her multiple years of service, but also she just went above and beyond to make sure that Anna could step into the position, getting her trained, supporting her, shadowing her, allowing her to shadow her, allowing Anna to shadow her. So thank you to Abby for doing that, and just all the best wishes on the birth of her child, which should be any day now. Okay, so with that, I just want to remind people that the Fairhaven Community Management Team has a slot for 2 co-chairs. And our previous co-chair has stepped down. She's a teacher. She's in her teaching, mentoring practicum thing. So she stepped down. So there is an opportunity for someone who lives in a nonprofit, works in a nonprofit, or owns a business to be co-chair. If this interests you, speak to whomever you feel most comfortable with from the executive team. But eventually, it would be good for you to come and talk to me, because I can tell you what it's like, because I've been doing it now for a few years. So please, if you're interested, let us know. We will have the normal elections in November, but we do have that open slot in case anyone is interested in test driving the position. Any questions about that announcement? Online in the room, I don't see anything, so we're gonna move on. Okay, we're scheduled to have the quarterly presentation by Jawan Carter from the Civilian Review Board. And he did text me and tell me that due to owning a business and being at work, he was not able to give the report, but he has let us know that he will be here next month. I'll just remind people, or let you know if you're new, that every quarter we do have our representative from the Civilian Review Board at the meeting, and he just provides us an update on what's going on with the Civilian Review Board. Moving along to the announcements now. If you have an announcement you'd like to make, you can only have like a minute, 2 minutes max. But we're gonna start with the ones we have, and then I'll call for any announcements that people have that aren't on the list. Fairhaven Day, Kiana, is Kiana here? Kiana is not here. Is there anyone who serves on the committee like you, Anna? And can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Fairhaven Day?
Yes, so on May 3rd. Okay, so on May 3rd, we're gonna be doing Fairhaven Day again. It's going to be right here, in the Fairhaven School. We're gonna have, vendors, research tables, food trucks, music, everything and anything that we've had in the past. We're expecting big crowds again. We're going to do our parade as well. So if you would like to be a part of that, you are more than welcome to. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Alder Redente.
Fairhaven Day is gonna be spectacular. It has been for the last 2 years, between 1,000 and 2,000 people. Please come, please watch the parade. If you have an organization or business, ask about having a table. It's something that happened for like 20 years in Fairhaven, and then it didn't happen for about 21, 22 years, and now it's back and it's bigger than ever. So please, join in, whether it's helping on the committee or by just coming that day. Thank you for that announcement. I'm gonna turn it over next to Yvette Oliveira, who's gonna talk about the Outstanding Leadership Award from the Mary Wade Home. But before I hand it over to you, Adam, I just sent you an email with a link to your Gmail account for my
Yes.
announcement. If you would put that up when the time comes.
Yep.
Yvette, the floor is yours.
Hi, hello everyone. So I'm glad we talked a little about Fairhaven Day. So we're gonna be presenting the Mary Wade Outstanding Leadership Award for 2025 at the Fairhaven Festival. So we have a form that I believe I dropped off some forms to Kirk, and there should be some posted on the Zoom call. So the Outstanding Leadership Award was created in 2010 for an individual who has served as a leader, inspiration, resource, and a role model for the entire Fairhaven community. This year's Outstanding Leadership Award will be presented on Sunday, May the 3rd at the Fairhaven Festival. So if you know someone that has these qualities, that has done some wonderful work within Fairhaven, we would love for you guys to nominate for somebody. The deadline for the form to be emailed to me, or you can drop it off at the Mary Wade Home, is April the 15th. So if you really feel that you know someone that has made a difference in Fairhaven and deserves this award, please nominate them, fill the form. You can attach extra sheets of paper to the form and send it over to me. My phone number is on the form, and so is my email.
And we have copies here at the library.
I think he just dropped something.
They're
Yeah, I
there.
gave them, I dropped them off to Kirk.
Here, that's what the form looks like. It's not very
Yes.
complicated, very easy to fill out. I have been given this award, and several people in the room have been given this award. This is a great opportunity for anyone that you know that is really doing work, and sometimes even quietly in the background. So please nominate folks. Great. So thank you. And also, we'll put a link to the document in our minutes. When you get the minutes, if you look through there, you'll see a link so that you can get that form. Any questions online or in the room about the award? I don't see any. Okay, thank you very much, Yvette.
All right, thank you.
Lee, it looks like someone asked, can
Oh.
you send the form electronically? And Adam replied, yes, you can email it to Yvette.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So in addition to that, it will be in the minutes of this meeting as well. Thank you very much.
Why you just posted it to the thing?
Okay, any other questions? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, the next announcement is mine, and I will own the fact that this is an announcement for something that the organization where I work, the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven, is doing. But the reason why I'm announcing it here is because I will say unabashedly that now more than ever, we need to understand what inequities are and what racism is. And in order to do that, for years, the Community Foundation has been offering this free training that we started first with our own staff. Everybody on staff has to do this training. If you come on staff, this is required. Then we offered it to nonprofits. Any nonprofit can have their staff, their board, go through this free training. But we've always offered it during the week because that's when most people from nonprofits, they get time for that thing. So I suggested that we do one on the weekend. This one is next, not this Saturday, next Saturday, April 12th. It is an opportunity to get so much information about the impact of racism, the impact of inequality on everything that happens in our society. And for a long time, we had this tagline at the Community Foundation. It was now more than ever, but now we really mean it. Now more than ever, this training is needed. Everyone should consider going through this training, whether you're Black, brown, blue, male, female. You should understand what is presented in a very interesting way with great examples of the impact here in New Haven, I'm hoping, I'm looking at you, Abby, I'm hoping that maybe some of the people from, New Haven Rising, will consider coming, and if you guys consider it valuable, then maybe we could do one that would just be for your folks. We did that, for example, for Quinnipiac University, where a few hundred people who work there went through it. It is absolutely free. It is on Zoom. And in addition to, thank you for putting it up, Adam. I don't know if you could put the link to that page in the chat, so people.
Already done.
Okay, great. So it's right there, so you can go on it. It will be on in the minutes. And also, if you follow the Fairhaven Community Management Team on Facebook or on any of the social medias that where we're present, I've put it on there as well, so you can go that way. Again, it's free, and now hundreds of people from Greater New Haven have done it, and our goal is thousands of people. I wish I could say we invented this. We did not. This was first done by the Community Foundation in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're copying them, but we're honored to be doing it. Does anyone have any questions about what this training is or how they can sign up if they're interested? The deadline is April 9th to sign up, which is the middle of next week, and the training is next Saturday. Questions about that? Any questions? Thank you for indulging me with that. Okay, so the time has come. Is there anyone online or in the room who has an announcement that they would like to make? Please stand and be recognized.
All right, this Saturday, April 5th, is Hometown Recycling Day. It's at Truman School from 9 to 12. You can bring bottles and cans, they will be redeemed. Documents, you can have up to 3 file boxes shredded for free. Electronics, any cords, TVs, anything electrical, even old toasters, old lamps or whatever, you can do that. And textiles, you can bring clothing, shoes, belts, hats, handbags, dry and in plastic bags. And I know everybody has stuff they want to get rid of. Let's not add more toxins to the garbage dump. So here we go.
Thank you for that. Any other announcements online? Anyone have, Denise?
Announcement-ish. I mentioned that I run patient groups at Fairhaven Community Healthcare. Anyone in the audience or anyone's family members or friends that are Fairhaven patients in any of our sites doesn't need to be a 374 grand patient. Enrollment is always open. I will call anyone that you believe might be a good fit. I'll speak with you as well if you think you might be a good fit privately and talk a little bit about the group and what it entails. It's completely voluntary. You have a lovely breakfast. Groups are now pretty small, so we're not talking about joining a group of 20 people. We're talking about a group right now of 5-ish. I'd love to keep a consistent 8 to 10. So I'm opening the door, spreading the word, and I'd love to talk with anyone. I have one purely in Spanish, one purely in English, so there's no mix of translations. Everybody understands everything all the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
for that.
you.
Any other announcements online? I don't see any hands up. Any announcements in the room? Okay, so all we have left is to go through the alders for any reports that they might have. So we'll go through in order, number order. Did we get a report from Alder Ellen Cooper, Ward 8? She represents a section of Fairhaven down in that area.
No,
Nope.
sir.
Okay, any report from Alder Carolyn Tanby Smith? She represents a small section up in this area. Did she?
Yes. Yes,
Would
Alder
you-
Smith did send a message. Unfortunately, she won't be able to join us today. She's at City Hall for City Services and Environmental Policy Committee meeting. She has 3 updates for our meeting. She launched an initiative for 30 volunteers in 3 days with significant federal funding cuts to Iris. They've had to close their doors on Willow and Nickel Street in the East Rock neighborhood. So they're shifting to remote work and satellite locations. So to help support, she partnered with the East Rock Community Management Team to launch for 30 volunteers in 3 days. If anyone can sign up to volunteer for that, she did submit the link to us. The next one is a Know Your Neighbors Fund. It looks like she started another initiative. It's a small fund to help provide micro grants of like $100 to New Haven residents to spark projects to bring neighbors together, such as like small morning chess clubs, outdoor music nights, Sunday basketball league. She believes that New Haven can be a leader in responding to loneliness and division with a renewed surge in community, with relationships, trust, and shared purpose with folks that live right next door. There's also an application for that. We can submit the links. Her next initiative is the Bike Month in May. She's co-organizing with New Haven Bike Month for the 10th year in partnership with New Haven Coalition for Active Transportation. And it looks like it's a month-long celebration of biking in May with the core goal of moving towards a vision in New Haven where every single person in every single neighborhood can feel safe, excited, and empowered to ride their bike.
Great. Thank you very much for that report. Any questions about anything that Alder Smith sent us? I don't see any online. The links, if you're online, are right there in the chat. We'll be sharing this information with you all in the minutes of the meeting as well. Report from Alder Miller.
Yes, so Alder Miller will also be unable to join us today. She sent a few updates for the Quinnipiac River Park improvements update. If you would like to join and know more about what's going on for the Quinnipiac River Park, she's inviting everyone to come to the new restaurant that opened up on Grand, the Farm Belly. It will be Wednesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. There will also be a Quinnipiac River Park cleanup Saturday, April 12th from 10 to 12. She also has the flyer for that. That will be sent. The spring cleanup at Martinez School and City Seed will be held Tuesday, April 29th from 3 to 5. We also have a flyer, and the Rock to Rock, which is April 26th. You can sign up to ride and raise funds for your favorite neighborhood environmental organization at rocktorock.org. And lastly, she mentioned Fairhaven Day, May 3rd.
Great, thank you very much for that. Alder Redente.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Lee.
Yep, you're welcome.
I wanted to touch first on something that Sergeant Alvarado talked about. I wanted to thank, and I won't name them, but the residents that reached out to us regarding the dumping on Front Street. Those of us that live close to Dover Beach Park know how bad it gets under that underpass. I'm working on a number of different things, and Lee and I have actually had a conversation with a Yale student about a mural under there to kind of brighten it up. But one thing I'm going to continue to ask, and I do pretty much every meeting, is if you see something, say something. Even if it's as simple as putting it on SeeClickFix, because I get that immediately. As soon as you post it, it comes to me. Then I can follow up with a phone call, and that seems to be working. So people are posting to SeeClickFix, I'm getting it. I have OCD, so I don't like to wait for things. I go right away. I get on the phone, I call the department head, whoever it is, and within a day or two, it usually gets addressed. So please, let's be diligent. Let's try to help each other out. We're one big team here in Fairhaven, and the only way we're gonna do it is if we are visible. We let people know, no more. We're doing a number of cleanups in all the wards. As Alder Miller said, hers is gonna be April 12th. We had one that was planned for this weekend at Dover Beach Park, but we're supposed to get rain. So we're gonna push it to the 26th. But it's really frustrating because Sergeant Alvarado showed up at our Chatham Park cleanup. And we were out there from 9 to 1. We took out 55 black contractor bags of trash from Chatham Park.
That's
About 20 pounds of bottle caps.
Wow.
Okay, and I spoke to him the next day. It was already filthy. So we're working on some things to try to clean up Chatham Park itself, the parking issues, the littering issues. So just like be patient. We are really working on it. That is my pet peeve for the second year of my first term is the parks. Chatham and Dover, they're disgusting and it's unacceptable. So, you know, even if we have to do it ourselves, I will organize cleanups every weekend, and we have, like, people like Abby and New Haven Rising been great partners. Flynn Project, Fairhaven Matters, Yale Naval ROTC. I mean, we're building a great big coalition of people that want to see Fairhaven restored to the dignity it deserves. You know what I mean? So we've moved that cleanup to the 26th, Dover Beach Park from 9 to 1. You may have seen that I was on the working group for the smoke shops. The legislation passed unanimously. No new smoke shops within 3,000 or 1,000 feet of any school, park, or house of worship. There's only one spot in the city where a possible smoke shop could possibly open up, and that's down on River Street by the oil tanks, and I don't think we're gonna get a smoke shop there. So, if it was up to me, I mean, I'm not anti-business, I'm just anti-bad business. I would do away with it in our city, like other cities have done. Not because of the products that are being sold, but because of the behaviors that we're seeing in these locations and outside of them. We need to be able to hold these businesses to account. They are a part of this community, they may not live in the community, but they operate here, and we're not gonna tolerate it anymore. So I will be working hard on ways to hold nuisance businesses accountable. So stay tuned. So the fine for the trash is $550. I have contacted Alder Miller and Alder Smith, and we're going to investigate what we can do to at least double that fine for illegal dumping. I don't think 500, it's a big fine, but I don't think it's enough. And lastly, we talked about Fairhaven Day. It's my pride and joy. If you don't know, it was my first assignment when I got hired with CTVIP was to do some kind of a neighborhood festival. It started as a small little backyard festival, and I made the choice of involving Alder Miller, and it just blew up from there. The first 2 years, we gave the auditorium at Fairhaven School, which has 1,200 seats, to a community nonprofit to do whatever they wanted. Try to raise money for their nonprofit or what have you, and it just didn't pan out the first 2 years. We had no real activities, a small little play the first year. Those of you that know me know I am a wrestling nerd. You know, I grew up in New Haven Coliseum going to WWF shows. I still go to indie wrestling shows all over the country. I have friends who run an indie wrestling promotion called VST Wrestling. I was introduced to them by Joey Rodriguez and Juan Candelaria. We have since become great friends. We have formed a nonprofit called the City Wrestling Club. And what we are is job training for people who want to get into live entertainment. So we will teach camera work, audiovisual streaming, acting, script writing, you name it. Anything that has to do with running a live show, we are going to teach. So the Fairhaven Day Committee said, why don't you put on a wrestling show after Fairhaven Day? So we are putting on a charity show. We are putting on a charity wrestling show on May 3rd at 5 p.m. after the conclusion of Fairhaven Day. We have put together a pretty great card. All the proceeds will go to one of our partner organizations, United by One, which is a juvenile diabetes charity. And we also have a building fund. We're going to look to open our own community center in Fairhaven within the next year. Some kind of an open door facility where kids can go after school. So Ms. Patricia has a letter that we've sent out to businesses. We're looking for sponsors. If you have a business and you want to put up your sign in the auditorium during the show, all the details are in the letter. If you just want to make a donation, United by One's information is on there as well. They're a great local nonprofit. And if you have any questions.
Where's the wrestling gonna be?
In the auditorium, in the 1,200 seat auditorium at Fairhaven School next door. Yeah.
Right next door.
So we will be outside Fairhaven Day promoting a lot of these guys that wrestle as in independent promotions, they all hold down full-time jobs. And what I've learned over these last few years of being a part of these productions, a lot of them are school teachers, firefighters, policemen. This is a part-time job just like any other. These guys work a really hard job all week, and then they go away
Massachusetts, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and they wrestle. And you know what? All kidding aside, they look like the kids from this community, and if you know, again, I'm a big wrestling nerd, if you follow any of these guys, these young Black and Latino wrestlers, they all had humble beginnings like our kids. This was their way out. And they did it by finding something they loved. And the beautiful part of our program is it's not about wrestling. It's about entertainment. You know, if you look on any of these live entertainment company websites, it's a laundry list of jobs, everything from camera operators to rigging to, you know, sound operators, and they just can't fill the jobs because, you know, where do they teach this? You have to go to college to get certificates and this stuff. So we have a great team of guys that will teach it for free, that want to, you know, give back to the community. So that's what our nonprofit is about. So
Okay.
that'll be what we're doing.
Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
we did throw
Thank you for
something
that.
at you.
I just want to publicly say, I don't think any of us can wait to see you in your tights. So
I don't
that's-
wrestle, I don't wrestle. But we do have some former WWE guys and,
Wonderful.
pretty
wonderful.
famous.
Okay, we have one final Alder Crespo. Any report, no word from Alder Crespo?
Seriously, try again.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that for Alder Crespo and then back at Ward 10, Alder Anafesta, they have never submitted reports, and Alder Crespo hasn't come in a long time, and Anafesta has never come. If you live in those wards, 10 or 16, please call them, email them, text them, tell them that we want to hear from them. And they don't have to come, they can just send a report, just to let us know what they're doing. No one can hold them accountable as well as a constituent. So if you live in those wards and you don't see something, say something, okay? The play on that. Okay, so I wanted to wait till all the alders did their reports because I didn't hear any of them mention that we have a campaign. So I just want to make this final announcement before we close. We have a campaign to clean up Fairhaven. And so you heard about the events, right? We have postcards. You can engage your neighbors and then give them the postcard. There's a QR code that goes to a website that announces. It has pictures of us cleaning up the neighborhood. We also have lawn signs that we want to ask every resident that wants, you know, that can put a lawn sign that says, let people know that we care. English on one side, Spanish on the other. There's bigger posters and there's those hand cards that you can just engage people. If you can clean up. If you can't clean up, promote the fact that we're doing the cleanups. I also want to point out that there's our, I think that's a picture of our banner. We have a banner that looks like that, and that's what I want to point out, that we made a banner to go across Grand Avenue, but one of the poles that holds the banners up down by Grand Peak is down. So Fairhaven Health Clinic was kind enough to take that 30-foot wide, 40-foot wide banner, and if you look on the fence in front of the new building that's being constructed, please note that there is now a banner that looks very much like the one that Adam just put up. It just constantly reminding people, we live here, let's keep it clean. And if it's not us, it's not one of us that's doing the throwing of the garbage, then let's report those people. Let's support Alder Redente in the efforts to increase those fines. We can change the culture of throwing garbage on the street, but it's a community effort. The difference between a community where things change and one that doesn't is not that things are all good in the first, it's that people don't give up. Don't give up, do what you can, volunteer at whatever level, cleaning up, handing out the cards. Come see any one of us who are leaders in the community. If you're looking for something to do, if you want to do something, or know someone, a business or a nonprofit that we should approach about something that's going on regarding keeping Fairhaven clean. We can do it together. And with that, brings us to the end of our meeting. We're always open to feedback about how we can make these meetings more interesting, more fun, more relevant for you. Please let us know. For now, all I need to do is call for, there's a request in the back.
I just have a question. Why did we stop having questions and comments for alders after their reports?
Oh, we didn't purposely do that. Is there a question you have for one of the alders?
Well, no, you just haven't done it in the past couple of meetings and it's a great forum if you have an issue with an alder to.
Right.
you know, to
Well,
raise it. So,
if it's
I
a
was
general.
wondering why, you asked why, do you have any questions after all the other speakers, but you don't
Yes.
ask it after the alders.
Point taken. Do you have one now or?
Well, Prudente is the only one here today.
Yeah.
So I was at a meeting yesterday with the parks director, it was over at Sage Hall at Gale, and, I brought up the question, what's happening with the ARPA funds? Is the new administration taking anything back, blah, blah, blah. He said, they're not taking anything back, but we only have until the end of this year to spend it, otherwise we'll most likely lose it unless we can get an extension, but with the current administration, we probably can't get an extension. So if you have any ARPA things going on in your district, get on his case because he's trying to prioritize what they can do by the end of the year, otherwise the money's gone. So we've been, it's been 3-4 years since we've been, had the opportunity to use the ARPA money, but not much has been done with it because there's been, asking what we can do and how we could do it, blah, 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 but nothing ever happened. So now we're in a crunch period where if we don't use it, we lose it. So, get on Max to do whatever projects in your district, that needs to be done so you can try to get it on the list for this year.
Any comment you have about that, Frank, or?
No, we've met with them a few times. It's more of a capacity issue at this point about the work. The work is getting done. It's just at snail's pace right now. I mean, it's just, you're 20 years of backlog as far as trees and stuff though, and.
Well, no, the ARPA money was for like projects within certain districts.
Everything is still on pace to get done. It's just working
Yeah.
slowly.
Okay, because he was talking about, yesterday he was talking about, they might not be able to do everything, so they're trying to get their priority list. So if you have anything that money is going to in your area,
Yeah.
try to get it prioritized.
Yeah, we've had him at our Fairhaven Issues meeting
Okay.
a couple of times. He's been very responsive to us. We've got a tree warden out in 15, she's been out quite
Yeah, we
regularly.
just got a new one, I think, right? Additional one?
We just got a bunch of trees cut down that have
Okay.
been on the list to be cut down for quite some time. But yeah, backlog, especially on trees, is about 20 years.
Perhaps folks should know that every month now, several of the alders that are working together, Alder Miller, Alder Verdente, Alder Smith, are meeting
Twice a
with
month.
key people twice a month with key people from the city, holding them accountable to a list of things in Fairhaven, and they're reporting back. If you have a question about that, ask your alder, and if your alder says, what meeting are you talking about? Then you should say to them, why aren't you attending that meeting? Because this meeting is scheduled, it's an agreed upon time among the alders with city people, and it's literally a list of things that need to be done in Fairhaven, and it's like crunch time, and where are you in this project and that project? So the alders, several alders are working together. We need more alders to work together. So thank you for that.
And
The phone number.
just real quickly,
Yeah.
When we started that over a year ago, the list was immense. I mean, it was just incredible, all the blight and crime issues that we were dealing with. And we actually have more on that list that's been completed than we do issues now.
So, every agenda has the phone number and email of the alders. You can call any alder you want, but the one that has to be most responsive to you is whoever your alder is. So make sure you look on the agenda, you take that number, you take that email address, and you let your alder know either what's going on, give me an update, or alternatively, why aren't you attending these meetings? Because that's where the power comes up, when they come together and they've heard from us, and then they hold the city staff accountable. Okay, so, and thank you very much for pointing out, it was a complete oversight on my part to not ask about questions, and I will make a note to do that. But if I don't, do not hesitate in between to just say, wait, I have a question. Okay, anybody can do that online or in the room. So with that, let's call for meeting adjournment. May I have a motion? Moved by Frank, second. Okay, a second. We don't have to vote on it. Thank you very much, everyone online. Appreciate you. See you next month. Thank you all here.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you all for coming. Please take information. There's a lot.